RB Racing. What we're going to do today, we are got the gasket or the water neck. We're going to install the water neck. Be one step closer to actually setting the engine in the car. A couple things that I want to get done before I put it in the car. One, I want to go ahead and get these out, this out, get my fittings, and get my hoses made to run my hose from there to there, there to there, and then need to plug this hole, plug that hole. Actually, I need to run the hose from this plug to that plug back there. This plug goes, that's where my the water temperature gauge goes. So, look at these little gaskets, man. They got a little sticky back on them, so when you put them down there, it sticks to there and they don't move. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing when it gets hot, but the surface is all nice and clean. I cleaned the surface of the water neck already. I got the bolts ready this time. I got my ratchet ready. I think I'm ready. So we'll peel this dude off here. I don't like it. Nope. Well, maybe it'd be alright. I don't know. Well, that's what she looks like. It's on there. So, I got the old water neck here. I got the surface, the mounting surface all cleaned up. Got my bolts. Where did I put the bolts over here? Got my bolts and my washer. So I announced it on my Facebook page. For all of you guys that follow me, this is the plans for this year. Plans for this year is I had plans to race 2 different tracks. One full-time and one kind of part-time. It is on the one in Indianapolis, most of the races are on Friday nights, which is a good thing. The one Mount Pillier race they've always raced on a Saturday night. But Friday night, since I work third shift, is my Saturday. Saturday night is my Sunday. Saturday night, I get paid time and a half. Sunday night, I get paid double time. So if I don't race, I make money. So, but Mount Pillier hasn't came out with the schedule yet. Circle City has. I don't know what's going on with Mount Pillier. I've talked to the promoter / in the process of buying it owner, but I don't know. People get into these deals and I don't know. They commit to some deals that they just can't pull off. I know they try to, but sometimes it just don't work out. But you gotta have a kind of a plan in case they don't work out. You know what I mean? All right, water neck is on. That's good. Power steering pump is on. Water pump. It's on. Fuel pump. It's on. Starter. It's on. Flex plate. It's on. Distributor. It's in. Gear on the distributor. It's on. Valve covers with new gaskets. Homemade tie downs, they're on. We're coming along. It may be a slow process, which I didn't say it was going to be a fast process, but we're making headway. All right, so since I got to put my water temperature gauge in there, my dummy gauge. Well, it's not really dummy gauge, but this would be the dummy gauge. Now the water neck has 2 ports up here. Now, I might try some stuff this year. It just depends on this engine. This is supposed to be a high revving engine. More revs produces more heat. So we might have to get fancy. I mean, we're going to run a line up top to the back of the block and to the front of the block, which is supposed to help evenly distribute. I mean, the water's still hot, but cool the engine. But we may have to, or we may end up putting a line. If I use these 2 holes for the lines to the back, and these 2 lines here, one here to go. Remember the bottom of the block that I was telling you about, the little plug? If I run a line from there somehow up to here without it hitting the header or whatever, it may help. It just may help. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, I promise you. Alright. Back to this stuff. I'm going to try and mix her up here a little bit. If you remember when I was putting the little plugs in, boy, this stuff was runny. We don't need no runny thread sealant. I do still need to get another plug though for the water pump, get that put in. I still got to get some pulleys. So Rich has a swap meet this weekend. So I'm going to wait until he's done to bother him with parts, because he's got a whole bunch of parts. And I don't really like buying new stuff. If I know somebody local has some good quality used stuff, and they're also in it to buy, sell used parts, so it helps him out because he still races. So it helps him out by giving him a little extra money. Helps me out by saving a little bit of money instead of buying new. And everybody's happy. Okay. You guys have got to get me to get this car cleaned off. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I keep like procrastinating or something because it's still messy. Heater shut off. Now you gotta yell. All right, so let me get my little. What is this? I got a whole bunch of garage towels out in the other shop that was given to me. This is I don't know, some dog got it. So we got this plug in. Clean up that a little bit. We got this plug in. I'll have to find another plug for over here. That's fine. Like I said, I want to get the fittings that I need for here and the back. Same thing on this side, or for here. That way I can go ahead and get those lines made and get those put on. need to get a set of pulleys, get those put on out here. Well, at least the bottom one. The top one I may have to wait till the car gets in because the fan and everything bolts up to there, which I've got to order a fan. I'm going to order a new fan tomorrow. I decided I'm going to just buy a brand new one. They're like $42 for a 17-inch metal fan. Yeah, they weigh a little bit more than the plastic, but they're a lot more durable, and it's been proven that they pull a ton of air through that radiator as long as you have a good fan shroud. So there's that. We are getting closer. That's a good thing. The closer we get, the less I have to worry about things. Because, as I keep saying, I'm heading to Florida, to Daytona, Florida, I think I fly out March 6th. I do like this. This came out of the auction. That's in pretty good shape. Looks like it's a 3.5 inch, 3 inch. It's a 3-inch spacer for the fan. These things go for this is billet aluminum. So it's probably $40-50 there. Goes right there on a water pump. So that's a pretty nice unit. But I'm going to Florida for 6 days. The 6th, then I come back the 12th. So that takes a pretty good chunk of time, Not being here working on the car and stuff. That's almost a whole week that ain't nothing gonna get done. But during that time, I am still going to make some content for everybody. We may venture to a racetrack down there. They've got a ton of racetracks down there in Florida. So we may venture to a racetrack. We may do some fun stuff that I'm going to just make some content with. As you guys know, this YouTube channel, it is 2P Racing. But this is basically the start of a whole entire race year of just a normal average guy right here that works it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's more like an 11:30 to 7:30 job at night. But just a guy that works for a living. I don't get handed a whole bunch of money. And I do with what I can do. Sometimes, like I just made the tie downs here or the hold downs for the valve covers. I didn't want to spend $40 or $50. I could spend that $40 or $50 somewhere else down the line that I will eventually need to do because we still have some more parts and stuff to get. Parts list. What I still have to get for the Super Street. The new 6-to-1 sweet steering box should be here probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm hoping. I should have just went and picked it up, but everybody knows I work third shift yet again. It's only 2 hours away from where it was at, or from where it's at. And I could have just went and picked it up. I could have probably had somebody ride with me, but that's okay. He's a good old race boy. He races where he has raced where I've raced, Mount Pillier. He races Eldora. He's up by the Fort Wayne, Indiana area, so he's up there, on that side anyways. Well, I tell you, I'm taking everything off of this car and I'm just stacking it on top of that car. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But anyways, he told me that if I paid the price that he's asking, which I did, I didn't try to Jew him down or nothing, then he would ship it to me for free. Now that's a heck of a deal. I will tell you, he said that he had it on their car for, I think he said 6 nights, I think. So it's still basically brand new. It's going to be new to me. But with that being said, that's still a really new, fairly new box. So that's good. That light is bright. So that's good. So that's getting shipped and it's coming on. It's on its way. That's for the Super Street. I'm going to try to. It depends on how busy I get tomorrow, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to pull the carburetor off tomorrow. I've got a box sitting over there. I'm going to use some of this packaging material that I've gotten from other parts to package it up. I've got the address to Willie's Carburetor, and I'm going to get her shipped off. And then hopefully it's going to be done by the time I get back from Florida. Same deal with the transmissions. They may be done before I go to Florida. If they are, I will try my best to get down there and pick them up. Because that's 2 hours down there too. Everything's like 2 hours away from me. It sucks. But get the transmissions back, and then that way I'll have it ready for when I do come back from Florida. I can get the steering box in on the car, if it's not already in. I'll have the transmission to put in. While I'm in there getting the steering box and stuff out, I might as well go ahead and change the spark plugs in this car. If the carburetor comes back, I can get the carburetor back on. And then the only thing I'll have to do, which, once again, it all depends, but hopefully I will be able to order the shocks for this car, for the Super Street. And if I do that, then we'll be dead near good to go on the Super Street, besides checking a few odds and ends on the bushings, on the A-arms and stuff like that. But besides that, I'd still like to get a hold and find out where this, I was told that there is a guy that has a dyno in his garage, or his shop. He bought one that used to be in Lafayette, put it in his shop. And I was told he doesn't live, when I say too far, I'm saying within like 20 miles from here. I would love to hook up with him and see, look at that, I got the trunk open. Would love to see if he would be willing to help me out and put the race cars, when I get them done, put them on the dyno, and we can mess around with the degree on the timing, set the degree on that, so we can find the best power curve. We can tune the carburetor while it's there on the dyno to get the best performance out of it. You know, all that stuff that a lot of people may not be able to do. If I can do it, it's just like a little edge, you know. And I need all the edge I can get, because I don't have a big fancy race shop. I don't even have scales yet. That's another thing I want to try to get this year, really, really soon, is get some scales so I know where to put the weight instead of just guessing and you know, throwing it on there. It may not even be right. The percentages may be wrong, and that's why I have problems with the handling. If I get the handling down and good shocks, good springs, the right combination, with that motor there at the Super Street, I should be I'm not going to say I'm going to be dominant by no means. There's lots of talent out there. But I should be I should be competitive at least. I mean, if I could be top 5, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good chance to win the championship. Just be top 5 every week, I mean, I came in second my first year back racing, and I didn't even win. Never won a race, but I was consistent. I had a ton of top 5s. I didn't miss one race that year. If I did, I may have missed one, but I don't think I did. Even if it was they had show-up points, and even though it was an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back, you got 25 show-up points. If it was scheduled to rain, and we all knew it was going to get canceled, but you know how these dirt track promoters are like, it's green, we're going racing. And then you get there and it's pouring down rain. They're like, well, we tried to make the window. There is no window. But we showed up and I got 25 show-up points. And those all added up throughout the year. And I only lost the championship, I think, by 9 points. Either 9, 11, or 13. It was real close. All right. Interesting. So I bought this car really sight unseen from a guy up in Wisconsin. He owns a little race shop. He sells parts. He does some building on cars. I don't know if he builds full cars, but I think he does. But what's missing here, folks? Where's the battery? Where's the battery? Oh, there's the battery box right there. All right. So that's a good location. That's old school location. Sucks to change because it's way up underneath there, but you've got the weight kind of towards in the middle of the car, so it doesn't affect the balance, the percentages as much, because the battery does weigh, 25, 30 pounds, something like that. And you have to figure all that in when you are checking your weights. The fuel cell, I'm not sure if I'm crazy about the fuel cell placement. It's pretty high, but it's above all the bumpers and everything. It's right in the middle. It looks like I have some weight clamps on the passenger side, but it is pretty open up there. Once I figure out how to get it up in the air, I would like to put another bar up here. So I've got one there. You see it running from there to that side to that side. I would like to add either a bar from here to here, or maybe 2 of them, and maybe 2 of them on that side as well. The reason is because if I have to mount weight. Now the Iowa car, it's the lightest car I've ever seen as far as track rules. And so it's $29.50 with the driver. That's like insane. The Super Street, I think, has to weigh 3,100, 3,000 with me in it. And I know that's only 50 pounds less, but the Thunder cars or Bombers or whatever you want to call them around here, they've got to weigh 3,200 pounds. So this is going to be 250 pounds lighter, and that doesn't sound like a lot. But 250 pounds in a race car, it's already light. By the time you add in the power and everything with the engine, that makes it every little bit helps. It's just like drag racing. You want the lighter car with the most power. That way you got more acceleration, you got more power, a lot less weight to move. But with those bars, especially on this side, because this side when you're in the car and you're going around the corner and you got everything going to the right side, that means all the weight is coming up off this tire. Yes, you're digging on this tire, you're transferring the weight on here, but you're losing a lot on this side. And you want to have your weight on this side to hold that, to plant that tire down. That way you have even, from my understanding, traction, and that will pull you off the corner and get you going down the straightaways. But I don't see, like I said, I see one set of ballast or weight clamps right there. But we'll have to get this car, when I get everything in it and good to go, I will have to get this thing on scales and see how much it weighs, see where the percentages are, because it's got to have a certain percentage weight on the rear to the front and on the cross weight and all this technical stuff. And it can't be, it's got to be in a certain area, otherwise it's going to be illegal. So he told me not to change these springs. I was going to buy new springs. I was going to buy new shocks. I was going to buy new. He said, no, don't change those springs. I was like, okay, geez. I mean, capital letters, he texted me back. So he said that these springs are only like a couple races old. So that's okay. I mean, it don't look bad underneath here. I'm telling you, it's pretty clean. I like how they got it built. It looks pretty stout. One of the things that really hurts, like cars around here, the UMP cars and the cars that are built here, is in the rules, it says that it has to be full frame. And our cars here, just like the Super Street there, they cut like this whole back corner off, and they put tubing in. Most of them's all rotted out anyways, but they put tubing in. Well, the rules state that is not allowed. It has to be full frame from the factory or OEM factory replacement frame welded in there. So that's a pretty wild rule, in my opinion, because it's getting harder and harder to find cars that aren't rotted out. But this one looks like it's pretty solid still. I tell you what, if somebody hits this in the back, they gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel it, but they gonna feel it too. It's built pretty solid. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. Well, I'll make it to where you can see. How about that? That this car, it is not put together with sheet metal. Like this is the original car. That is, I mean, the rear quarters are all original. The trunk lid, that's original. The back decking's original. The top is original. Let's see here. The front fenders are original. They still have the I don't know if you can see or not. They still have the cutout there for the day gun turn signals, the side markers. So this car, it is all 100% what it used to be. It used to be a Pontiac, what was it? A Pontiac Ventura or something like that. That's what it is. This car, you know, I built the body on it. There ain't nothing factory on it. But yeah, all this, it's all factory. It's even got the factory bumper. I think. Well, maybe that's not factory. But I do have a factory aluminum bumper. I didn't know they used to make aluminum bumpers, but they did. It's out in the storage unit. So I may take that with me just in case we have to bolt something up. But So we finally got the trunk open. Let me, I talk loud, it's starting to get chilly and I don't like to be cold. So the next thing is, let's check out the old fuel situation. So it does have the little flapper deal here in case you go upside down. It's got the flapper that holds the fuel in. It will leak out, but it won't leak out as fast. Let's see if I can get this light a little better. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Okay. See if I can see down in there. Okay. It appears that it has very, very little fuel in it. It's got a little bit, which is fine. It's fine. It's, you know, a year old anyways, or however old it is, so I'll get it. We'll burn it off. That's fine. Let's see here. I need to find out what it ran. If it just ran, I don't know, 95 or 93 octane, whatever you get at the gas station, or if he actually ran race fuel. I don't know what it ran. But it does have, he says, so he said the springs were new. It looks like it's got an AFCO shock on this side. It's got looks like it's got a what is that? It's got a Q1 shock on this side, on the left side. I need some more light. I need to get these lights up. That's what I need. Let's see what we got up front here. If I can see. I can't see. This is all factory up front. It's not been altered. It's got factory motor mounts, like the motor sits in the factory spot. Super straight and set back a little bit. It's got some yellow Bilstein shocks up front. Left side's probably not that great. So a lot of people don't put a lot of effort in the left side shock. The right side looks like it's got a Bilstein as well. I don't care for those. They might be all right, but I'll probably end up changing the front shocks, rear shocks. I'll probably get a set of shocks for this car, but I'll probably run these just to see how they are. Well, didn't do a whole lot today. I was on the phone a lot today, and getting some other stuff done that's important. I know the cars are important, but there's some things in life that are important too. But we're making good headway on this. I'm going to pull. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find something real quick to pull that. Pull one of them in. Might work, might not work. I don't want to walk over to the other shop. It's rained all day, it's muddy, and it's cold out. Dang, I was hoping you didn't put these in tight, you know what I mean? make them do this. Okay. So, I know if I come over here, yeah, I don't, maybe I picked it up. Okay. Well, I didn't want to have to do this. Looks like we're going to take a little field trip. It's not bad out. I mean, it ain't raining now, but you can see it's still overcast. It's cloudy. It's rained all day. It's like, I don't know, 47 degrees out today. It's not too terrible, but it's not the greatest. Like if the sun was shining, beating down on us, it'd be great. I could deal with that, but it's not. I need to get this all cleaned up. I got some plans with those. I've been seeing a lot of do-it-yourself stuff on YouTube, because I watch a lot of YouTube too. Building cabins and little off-the-grid sheds. And, well, I'm that feller that is interested in that stuff. Okay, let's see. That's 3/4. I don't think that's big enough. Let's see here. I've got my ratchet over there, so if I can find a socket. Let's see here. Here we go. Here we go. That's 7/8. That might work. I think that's what it is. I don't think, well, I am thinking. And I don't know if that's a good idea sometimes. But I think that's what it is. And I got my ratchet over there. If it is, we're in business. We're in luck. Oh, so many plans, man. I've got all kinds of plans this year. So right here where the burn pile is, right here, from almost, well, about the edge of the fence line there, I want to keep this open for the lawnmower and stuff to get over there. But from my small shop there to here, I want to build that. That's where I want to build that little cabin. My cabin. That way I have somewhere to come out here and relax, chill. I get off work, kids are running around in the house. I got somewhere to go to get a little nappy nap in. Fits like a glove. Now, see if I can get this dude off now. Got her out. What do you know? It does fit in that hole. Not a whole lot of clearance there for nope, not a whole lot of clearance there. I'll probably go ahead and get one of these plugs here. That way it's not sticking way out, and I got plenty of clearance to get it tightened up in there. So I got this out now. Now I can take it to the store. I can match it up so I get the right things. Give me some tubing or some heat resistant hose for that. Get that on. We're getting there. if anybody has any suggestions or any ideas, I know I've asked this before, but I would like to interact with more people. If you guys would, just give me a comment, say hi. If you're a racer, if you've got any little, I know some people don't like helping competition. I don't know if there's anybody on this channel that I actually race with. I know there may be a couple. But if you have any pointers, any tips, and you say, hey, this worked well for me. I understand it may not work well for me, that it worked well for you, but it's something that I can try. And when a person doesn't know a whole lot about setup and stuff, the only way you're ever going to know is if you try. So if you guys would interact a little bit more, let me know some suggestions. If you have any suggestions about what I can do to help video quality, what I can do to help make it more entertaining, because I know I'm a boring person. I get it. I'm new to all this stuff. Lots of chatter, lots of this. I know a lot of people like action. They want stuff going on. I do watch old Cletus McFarland. Shout out to him and doing it for Dale. Hell yeah, brother. I watch him all the time. He's got a lot more money than I do, and he's got a whole crew, and he's got people that can do, fancy introductions and good quality. I don't have that yet. Not saying I'll ever have that, but if somebody says, hey, I can help your videos out, I've got this, and this editor on my computer, let me see what I can do. You might want to do it for me. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night out here. I haven't gotten a whole lot of sleep, but I wanted to get every day, if I can get just this much done, it's that much less that I have to worry about. So tomorrow's Friday. I said I would like to try to get this in the car by Friday. With that being said, I don't have the transmission yet, which I don't have to have the transmission. I've got a jack. I can put it up underneath the rear of the engine. I can set the engine in. I can put these mounts on. I can bolt them down, but there's nothing holding the rear of the engine up. I can put the jack up underneath it and lower it down. But it's kind of pointless because I'll have to pull it right back out. So I'm just going to wait till I get the transmission. The transmission will be dry because I have to put it at an angle to put it in the car. I won't be leaking transmission fluid everywhere. And I can bolt the transmission up back here. I can get the torque converter tightened down all out of the car. I don't have to do it up underneath the car. So much easier. I'll just stick the drive shaft in, bolt it up. Ooh, that's another thing I forgot. When I do get it in, I will have to find a drive shaft. I do know a guy that has several drive shafts. If you remember, if you've been following me, I did get a drive shaft from the auction. I don't know if it's any good. It was in an auction for a reason. But I may just order a new one. Just be done with it. Order 2 of them. You never know what happens out there. I told everybody I want to buy some extra parts for the Iowa race. I don't want to go there empty-handed and something stupid fail and we're done. Still got to get this old seat out. I got one of those newer Kirky seats. The same one I got in here. Right there. You can see it. I know it's dark. Here. It's dark, but I was fortunate enough Man, I tell you, I got to get this place cleaned up. But I was fortunate enough to grab, so now you can maybe see it a little better. But I was fortunate enough to grab at that auction I went to a seat. I believe it's the exact same seat. It doesn't have the head part. But right there, I mean, I think it is the exact same seat, I believe. Then I bought this seat, and it's really close, and it does have the padding, which I don't use padding because I've never had padding. So that's going to be different. I may throw that in the Iowa car since it has padding. Guy Taylor, I think, is a little taller than me, but I think he's a little skinnier than me. So we might have to do some pad adjustment, but I've got some of these white pads we can stick in the sides of it. Close it up an inch or so, get him a tight fit in there. Heck, you might bring a seat and might change it out. I don't know. But, all right, guys, I'm going to cut her off and see if I can get some fittings, and we can do a little bit tomorrow. Until then, you guys have a nice night.